Hey everybody on YouTube land, my name is Mike and I love guitars. In today's video, we're going to take a look at another pedal from JHS. We're going to check out this 3 Series Screamer Overdrive and compare it to my Ibanez TS9 Tube Screamer. Let's do this. First, I want to say that this is not a sponsored video. I paid for this pedal myself, and most importantly, all views expressed in this video are my own. I've never been a huge pedal guy. I own a few, but I've always just preferred to go straight into my amp. In particular, I've never really used overdrive pedals before. In the area where I grew up in bands, people just didn't really use them. Having said that, in the last couple of years, I've been trying a few. I started with the Boss SD1 Super Overdrive and an Ibanez TS9 Tube Screamer because, well, they're classics for a reason. I've looked at a few others to try, but after checking out the JHS Little Black Amp Box recently and being a fan of their YouTube channel, I decided I wanted to see more of what JHS had to offer. I was tempted by the Bonsai Overdrive, but since that pedal is $250 and I'm just starting to get my toes wet with JHS, I decided to go with the 3 Series Screamer Overdrive. At only $99, the 3 Series Screamer is a much easier chance to take on a new-to-me pedal brand. If you're not familiar, the 3 Series is an affordable line of pedals by JHS, and it takes its name from the fact that all the pedals have only 3 knobs. The 3 Series is made in Kansas City, Missouri like all the rest of their pedals, so these are quality pedals, not cheaper imports. According to the JHS website, the Screamer is the JHS Tube Screamer Strong mod in a standalone pedal. Like all 3 Series pedals, it comes in an extremely plain white enclosure, and maybe not wasting money on flashy graphics and paint is one of the ways they keep the cost down. Since the Screamer is based on the Tube Screamer circuit, I wanted to compare the two pedals and see how similar or dissimilar their sound is. First, we'll listen to both pedals in a full mix, and then we'll listen to some isolated guitar tracks to see what differences we can hear. For the audio demos, I'll be playing my 2020 Gibson Les Paul Trad Pro 5 running through my Marshall JCM2000 DSL 100. As always, the output of the amp goes into my Torpedo Captor, and I'm using a Marshall 412 IR. When used to boost a high gain amp for a metal tone, the two pedals definitely sound similar, which is expected since the Screamer circuit is really just a modded Tube Screamer circuit. With matching settings, the JHS seems to have a little more high end, which helps it cut through a mix better. Is it enough of a difference that the average non-guitar player listener would ever notice a difference? Maybe, but almost all guitar players are tone chasers at our core, so we're always going to obsess over these minor tonal differences more than we probably should. I will say that in this particular case, I like the JHS more. One distinct and interesting difference between the JHS and the Ibanez is that while the TS9 is the gold standard for overdrive pedals, it really doesn't have nearly enough gain to be used as a standalone distortion pedal for anything more than a bluesy tone. The 3 Series Screamer, on the other hand, has more than enough gain to be used as a distortion pedal. Now, just because the JHS has enough gain to be used as a distortion pedal doesn't mean I would ever use it as a distortion pedal. If I'm being completely honest, with the gain turned up on the pedal, the tone is just not the most pleasant distortion sound I've ever heard. I might be able to get something more usable if I heavily EQ'd the amp, but it's just not worth the effort to me since I simply prefer the distortion from the amp itself. However, I did come across something interesting while tweaking on the knobs. If I turn both the gain and the tone all the way up, it does get a semi-decent chainsaw type of sound. If you add a couple of tracks of the chainsaw sound on top of your regular rhythm tracks with the volume turned down just a little bit, it helps the guitar cut through a modern metal mix even more. Granted, my style is a pretty far cry from modern metal, but as an old guy, I'm just doing the best I can. So what do I think overall about the JHS 3 Series Screamer? Honestly, I really like it. I'm far from an overdrive expert, but again, in this particular instance, I think it really helps the guitar cut through the mix just a little more. What's next? Well, I think the only logical step from here would be to compare the Screamer to the TS9 purely as a boost with a few different guitar amp combinations. But that is a video for another day. And that's all I have for you guys today. I'm pretty new to JHS Pedals, so if you guys have used any or if you have any particular recommendations for me to try, please let me know in the comments below and we'll talk about it. Oh man. Here we go. I am getting too old for this.